just talk about the simplicity of rucking and something that's been going on, training for military all these years. My wife wears a weighted vest every day.
Awesome.
I mean, she goes for a walk with the dog and wears a weighted vest, and she's like Superwoman with her workouts, but she started doing the weighted vest, and I started out with like the 8 to 10 pound one. I bought the 20-pound one, and she's already on the 20-pound one and wearing that on a regular basis. So she's a believer. It sounds simple. You're seeing more and more people do it. That's something that I would say is a simple habit that she's built in that plays right into your research with the newest book.
Yeah, and it plays into the 2% mindset too. Like so with physical activity, I think that I think walking with weight, whether you're throwing on a weighted vest, whether you are throwing some weight in a backpack and going for a walk, I think that is one of the highest return activities you can do. And the easiest way to understand why is that you're mixing strength with cardio. So because you're carrying weight, your muscles are having to work harder, but because you're also walking across the earth, you're getting an endurance effect. So it kind of has this 2-in-1 factor that running alone wouldn't give you because you're not getting strength from running. That lifting alone wouldn't give you because when you lift, you're not really getting that much endurance, right? You do like a set for 20 seconds, then you rest for a minute. Like it's not an endurance activity. So this kind of gives you a 2-in-1. And I think that also comes with a lot of other benefits. So for one thing, walking with weight burns more calories per mile than running or walking alone without weight. So you get more return on every mile. It also seems to be uniquely good for fat loss. And I think that's because the research suggests it's because when you have weight on your skeletal system, it almost signals your body like, hey, we should probably hang on to this muscle because we have to use it, but we need energy to do this endurance activity. So let's pull it from fat. So it seems to be great for fat burning. And then there's also the fact that you get outside, right? Like being outside is one of the best things you can do for, if we're thinking about it from like a productivity, high performer standpoint, one of the best things you can do for decreasing stress, for coming up with good ideas, for enhancing your productivity once you get back into the office. There's just like all these good things that happen when you go outdoors and spend time outdoors around your mindset. And it's also really safe. So I think a lot of people, I love running. I also recognize that like running has probably the highest injury rate of any activity that people do. It's anywhere from like 20 to 79% of runners get injured every year. And the injury rate of rucking is very, very low. It's like more akin to walking, which is about 1%. And it also seems to make you more resilient in the sense that it seems to push away back pain, can help your back and your core become more resilient, makes your lower body stronger. So it's just one of those activities where it just is packing so much into one thing that I think it makes a lot of sense for people to do it. And especially, so to bring in the 2% concept, it's like I have 2 dogs and they're both insane. So they need to be walked every single day.
So what kind of dogs are they?
We have a pit bull mix and I have a German short hair pointer.
Oh, GSP. Okay.
The GSP is especially insane.
I have a Vizsla. I have a Hungarian Vizsla, one of the cousins of the GSP. So I'm very familiar. That's what I was thinking you were getting at.
So you know how insane hunting dogs are.
Yeah.
This dude is insane. He needs his walks. So when I go for a walk with the dogs, I could do it, without any weight, and that would be great. But if I throw on a pack with 30 pounds in it or whatever, now I'm getting more from every step. And I'm still accomplishing that act of walking the dogs. So it's really easy to just flow it in your life. Like when I've had, so for a lot of my work, I'll go do these kind of, I'd call them crazy. My wife would call them stupid adventures. So for example, in the spring, I did this 850-mile hike in southern Utah. And for that, we were hiking about 25 miles a day. We had all our gear on our backs. And to get ready for that, I would just throw on a weighted pack as I did like random stuff in the house. I'd be working at my stand-up desk, I'd have it on. I'd be vacuuming, I'd have it on. But it's like I've added that to just like get more stimulus and get more out of that activity.
So it amplifies it. So when you're looking at something like that and you have the weighted vest, there's actually a benefit to having something that's not as evenly distributed, correct? Isn't there some kind of benefit to having like a rucksack or doing something that's maybe a little bit different the way that the weight is adjusting, or does that make a difference? Is it just good to have it, period?
I think big picture, it's good to have it, period. There are some differences, some practical differences that I get into in the book between having weight in a pack versus in the form of a weight vest. I think for most people, most of the time, packs are a little bit better. And one of the main reasons is just it's more accessible. Like if you're listening to this right now, you may not have a weight vest at home, but I guarantee you have a backpack somewhere. And I guarantee you have something that weighs something that you can put in that pack and you can just go for a walk. Like you don't have to overthink it. Just put some stuff in the pack and go walk.
Yeah, if you see the kids that go to school nowadays, my son's in high school. When my oldest son was in high school, I'd be like, "Why is your backpack so full?" He's like, "Oh, we don't use the lockers anymore." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't use the lockers anymore? They have like bags that they're like, I mean, the backpacks are filled to the brim." And yeah, he's like, "Who has time to go to the locker? I'm not doing all that." So none of the kids were using the backpacks, but were using the lockers. So they were carrying their stuff all the time. So naturally, I guess it was a benefit for them to be doing this and kind of doing everyday tasks from class to class and having their very own rucksack on their back on a regular basis.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad to hear they're still making kids drag a bunch of books between classes. I would have thought we would have just put it all in an iPad now, but
I think it
we're good
depends
to
on the
go.
school district, depends on the financial place of what's going into the school, how quick they want to update the textbooks. Do they want to change all the stuff in the textbooks or not? Like where are we at? I don't know where those things end up. And I think it's always difficult
Yeah,
to
and
to know.
why sell why sell someone a $300 iPad when you could sell them seven $400 textbooks?
Man, in college, I'll never forget going and having no money and barely being able to make it and then going to that stupid bookstore and dropping like $800 on books that I might have opened 3 times.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
just wanted your professor to tell you, are you going to use the book or are you not going to use the book? Just tell me. And nowadays I think they're more apt to tell you. My son will say, "Hey dad, I've got to get this accounting principles book." And I'm like, "Okay, go get the book. If you think you need it." Nowadays he might buy 1 or 2 books compared to
yeah,
what I was buying. We bought all of them.
yeah.
So,
When I was a professor, I actually didn't assign any textbooks because I was just like, you don't need to be spending $200 for this thing. That would sometimes make the department kind of annoyed because a lot of the more academic professors, uh, they earn income on textbooks, but I'm just like, I am not subjecting 300 kids to a $200 bill each. It's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we took an outlook that looked out for the actual students that are coming there to learn instead of amplifying and stacking the takeaways of how we can make more money, that would be a benefit to everybody in education. So I like that mentality. I'm curious. You said something a few minutes ago when you went on this 850-mile crazy hike. Your wife calls it crazy. You call it adventure. How have you found the compromise in marriage? So where is that line? What kinds of things are you doing together, and what kinds of things are separate?
Oh, she's pushing me out the door, man. Um, no, I'm just kidding.
So you're talking about like just being. You mean she's pushing you out the door to have some free space and free
Yeah,
time because
get
you're a
the
writer, so you're around a lot.
get the hell out of here. Um, no, she understands. You know, I was already a writer when we met.
Right.
I was working at the magazine, and I was kind of the guy at the magazine who they would send in to, weird places to meet weird people who had weird ideas. So that's always been my job. Now, of course, the asks of the things I do have gotten bigger over time, like longer stints. But she's cool with it. She understands it's my job. She's like, all right, I'll get a break. I can just kind of do my own thing. And I will say that the periods alone when we're apart from each other, I think have been good, because then you start to really think of the other person when you're alone and you appreciate them. You really start to look forward to seeing them again. And I think that strengthens every moment you have thereafter. So I think it's kind of counterintuitively actually been a really good thing for us.
So YouTube has this cool feature where they pick the next video for you, and it's right here on this screen. So I hope you enjoy this next video.